Hello everyone. In this video we are going to be covering the cover letter that you can find that in module 6. But before we start talking about the cover letter, I wanted to go over the homework that's due for next week. We're in week 10. You see we'll be working on the cover letter in class, and then for homework you're expected to actually write a cover letter or a draft of a cover letter, as well as work on the Module 6 Applied Math Practice Talent Assessment. And you can find all of that in the Module 6 assignment. And all of that will be due by 11:59 p.m. on March 21st. So a quick overview of what a cover letter is and what it isn't. So far, you've worked on and you should have completed your resume. Although that resume is complete, you have to understand that it's still a work in progress that you have to return to periodically to refresh and to edit for whatever opportunity you're trying to go after. Since you finished the resume, it's now time to move on to the next step of preparing what we call the employment document package. This part is the cover letter. Your cover letter is not a resume. It's pretty much an opportunity to state what your goals are, explain why you want that particular opportunity, and to indicate the reasons you feel that you're the most qualified for that opportunity. Again, it might sound like a resume to you, but the cover letter is a unique way to give you a chance to add some evidence of what your skills are and what your abilities are. An example of this would be for a resume, you might just state that while working at a clothing store, you manage the front area or you manage the shoe department. In a cover letter, on the other hand, you get a chance to add a little bit more detail of what you did in that position. Your cover letter gives you more of an opportunity to professionally show off your personality. It's important to realize that hiring managers may just be scanning through the hundreds of cover letters. So because of this, you want your cover letter to stand out for all the right reasons. Again, this video will hopefully help you ensure that you know what hiring managers are looking for and what you should include in your cover letter and what you should pretty much leave out. Before sending your cover letter and your resume to a hiring manager, or if you're uploading it to an online job posting, you should try to find out who's going to be reading that document so you can properly address it to that person. So when we talk about who to address it to and how to find out who to address the cover letter to, one of the first things you can do is to conduct a internet search for the hiring manager for whatever particular opportunity you're trying to go after, or the human resources. An example of this would be if you're applying for a job at a hospital, a Memorial Hospital, you might want to conduct an internet search for hiring manager, Memorial Hospital, or Human Resources Memorial Hospital. Another way is to call the company directly. Once you call that company, you try to find out who's the hiring manager so that you know who you're going to address that cover letter to. If you can't find out who's doing the hiring or who the HR representative is, you should address your cover letter to the highest ranking person whose name you can find online. If you can't find any individual names, you can instead start your letter with "Dear hiring manager" for whatever specific department you're trying to get that opportunity from. You should always avoid that generic greeting of "Dear hiring manager." You want to be specific about that department that you're trying to get that opportunity for. So, what goes into a cover letter? Um, you start off the cover letter. You want to make sure you have an opening greeting. You want to have a hook to get the reader's attention. And then you want to have a paragraph describing why you are the right candidate for that job or that opportunity while showing some enthusiasm. You want to be detailed on what your job related skills are, and then you want to close it. So towards the top of that of the cover letter, you should include pieces of information, each on its own line, and you want it to be left justified on the left side of the document at the top. You want to include for the heading, you want the hiring manager's name, the hiring manager's position, the name of the company, the address of the company. Next, moving into the greeting, um, you want to say if you know the person's name, you want to say dear Mr. Dear Mrs. Dear Miss, or dear hire manager for whatever specific department you're trying to get that opportunity from. And then you move into the paragraphs. Now, with the paragraphs, I generally recommend 2 to 3 paragraphs. It can be 4 if need be, but 2 to 3 paragraphs explaining why you feel that you're the perfect person for that opportunity. You want to make sure that in that second paragraph, though, that you're detailing any relevant skills you have that would translate into that job. The third paragraph is going to explain why you're a good match for the company. And then you're going to move into the closing, as well as you have to sign the document as well if you're going to be sending it via mail or if you post it to online, online position or posting. You want to make sure that you sign that document, but you can end the document or close the document by using words sincerely, thank you. Those are some formal closings that you can use. And then again, sign the document. And as you see at the bottom, always proofread that document. Always proofread any of the employment document package. All those documents, make sure you're proofreading it. Have other people give you feedback on all of those documents that you're submitting. Your resume, cover letter, your references. Always have it proofread. So next, we're going to move on to some examples of cover letters. Now, this cover letter, as you can see, starts off different as far as the header. It actually has the person who's applying for that opportunity in the header. This can be done, but I would recommend that you would put the hiring manager or HR, human resources contact information in the header, but this is a different way. So you have your header up at the top, kind of like with your contact information in the resume, have your name, email address, phone number, and city and state. And then you move on to the opening paragraph. Again, this is supposed to grab the reader's attention. You see, you started with dear Mr., dear Miss, the person's last name. The intro paragraph is going to grab the reader's attention. You move on to the body of the paragraph. So this example has four paragraphs that you're going to use. So again, I usually recommend 2 to 3 paragraphs, but it's okay if you put a fourth in there. But in the second and third paragraph, or the second paragraph, you're going to expand on what your skills and qualifications are. Then you move into the third one where you're trying to connect with the company by saying how you would fit in very well. And then the closing paragraph is a call to action, whether you're expecting to get a call back, an interview, or whatever you're expecting for that company. You're going to give them a call to action and also say that you're thankful for that opportunity. And then you close out with sincerely, uh, warm regards or with regards or thank you, and then you sign the document. So again, always proofread, always proofread, always proofread. Here's a second example of a cover letter. As you can see at the top, you have your contact information, which there's no problem with putting your contact information on the cover letter. And then you move into the part of the cover letter that has the hiring manager or their human resources representative's contact information. You have their name, the company address, their phone number, and their email. Next, you have the greeting, which again, it's gonna include that person's name. Again, stay away from that generic "Dear Hiring Manager," "Dear Human Resources Rep." You want to personalize it as much as possible. Then you move into your 2 to 3 paragraphs, starting with the first paragraph, which is supposed to grab the reader's attention. The second paragraph, you see, gives it a little bit more detail on the person's relevant skills. And then the last paragraph, you see a call to action. You see that they put their contact information. And then it says, I look forward to speaking with you soon. So that's the call to action, expecting some type of action out of this cover letter that you're submitting. And then you have your closing, where you can use sincerely, regards, thank you, and then you have your signature. Again, always proofread any of your documents that you're submitting, whether it's the reference letter, the resume, or the cover letter. Always, always, always proofread. So hopefully these 2 examples and this video as a whole, will assist you with what to put into your cover letter, how to address it, how to close it, and just a way to give you a leg up when you're trying to get some type of opportunity. Hopefully this video will provide that for you.